Okay, we're going to take a look today at drawing a simple piece or a simple part using the Autodesk Inventor program. So what I want to do first is I want to go ahead and select New Part by clicking on Part. And while it's opening up here, I can see over on my left I have my browser. That's showing the actions that are going on. And I also want to then click and select Start 2D Sketch. So click on that. And now you can see that I have a variety of planes here. I have the YZ plane, I have the XY plane, or I have the XZ plane. I can choose which one of those I want to draw on, and I usually choose, and today I'm going to start by choosing the XY plane. And that turns it into sort of our familiar coordinate or grid system here without the marks or without the numbers, but you can see I do have an X-axis and I have a Y-axis here with my origin in the middle. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create this object by I select the Create button. But before I can select the precise inputs, and that's going to be my X and Y coordinates, I'm going to go ahead and select the Line tool. So when I select the A tool, like the Line tool, then precise input is available. So I'm going to go ahead and select on that. And you can see that it gives me a dialog bar here with an X and with a Y space for me to enter numbers in. Move that just a little bit. Again, here's my origin. I want to start my line from the origin, so I'm going to go ahead and put my cursor in the X box, and I'm going to select the origin numbers, which are X, 0, tab to move it over to Y, and then 0 again, and finally I'm going to hit enter. Now that started my line, and you can see I have a rubber banded line here. I want my line to go straight up, and I want it to go up 3 inches because I want my block to be 3 inches high. But on my X coordinate, it's still going to stay at 0 where the origin is. So I'm going to type in a 0, hit tab again for my Y, and then type in a 3, and hit enter. Now you can see that my line's a little bit off the page here, so I'm going to go ahead and I can use my mouse wheel to scroll down and to zoom in, and then use that again to recenter or position it wherever I want on the paper. So you can see my line still connected with a rubber band effect here. I want to go back and I want to put in my next XY number, so I put my cursor back in the X box, and I want to go 1 inch over to the right, which would be X1, and then hit my tab button, and I'm going to stay at Y3. So I hit 3 and then enter again. Now my next step is to go straight down, and you can watch the rubber banded effect of the line as I type in my numbers. I'm going to go over X1, okay, so type in a 1, hit tab, and I'm going to go down 1, so I'm going to go back to Y2, and then you can see the line creates itself there, and then hit enter, and then I have my rubber banded line again. Okay, I'm going to go to the right 1 inch, because I'm going to make each step 1 inch by 1 inch. I'm going to go to the right 1 inch, so I'm moving 1 over on my X-axis to 2. So I type in a 2 at the X box and hit tab. And for the Y coordinate is also going to be 2. And you can see the line snap to that point. And I'm going to hit enter, and I've created my second step. Now I'm going to go down again. I'm going to go downward. So I'm using my X coordinate again of 2. And I'm going down 1 inch, so that puts me back at Y1. Oop, that's not correct. Let's back up. I need to tab over to get to the Y space. I'm going down to the Y1 coordinate, hit enter, and I've drawn my next line. Now I've got a couple more lines to go here. I want to go to the right one more to give my third step. And so I'm going over now on the X-axis to position 3 or 3 inches over, and I'm still at 1Y. Oops. Again, forgot to hit the tab, hit 1, enter, and now I have 2 lines left to go. I'm going to go straight down 1 more inch. So I'm going to go to X3, hit tab, and back to 0. Now to finish this up, I need to go all the way back to the origin, which is 0, 0, and so I'm going to hit enter, and then go back to typing in 0 for X, tab, 0 again, hit enter, and now I've completed my shape. Now if I right click, I can say finish the 2D sketch. I could hit OK. Both would do the same thing, so I'm going to say finish the 2D sketch. Now that brings it up into sort of an isometric position. If I use the zoom tool or the pan tool, I can move this back down and then use my mouse wheel to put it into a better perspective here for me to look at. The next thing I want to do is I want to make this into a 3D object, so the next tool that I'm going to use is the Extrude tool, and you can find that up here into the ribbon bar. And notice when you float over a tool, it will give you a little drop down picture and a little bit about each tool and what it does. And so pay attention to those. Those can be helpful for you to take a look at what the different tools do and how they're used. But for right now, we're going to use the Extrude tool, and we're going to make this a thickness of 1 inch. So I'm going to click the Extrude tool, and you can see that as I do that, it automatically pulls it out at 1 inch. Now if I wanted this to be 2 inches thick, I just type in the dialog box and get rid of the 1, substitute a 2, hit enter, and now you can see it's made my 3-step block 2 inches wide. This also shows the different areas of that block, highlights them as you run your cursor over it. But I like it better being the 1 inch, so I'm going to undo that and then extrude it back to 1 inch as it was before. Hit enter, and now I have a 1 inch deep 3 inches by 3 inch cube with 1 inch steps. And that's what I'd like you to try for today.